Good evening and welcome to the Radical World Cup European AMS Round 2 live from Interlagos. I am James Parfitt and I'm going to be here guiding you through all the action this evening in Round 2. If you've missed Round 1, you can go and watch it back. Now let's have a look at this famous circuit here in Sao Paulo in Brazil. So there we go. There is the Interlagos circuit. 10 left, 4 right, and opened in 1948. Held such competitions as the F1, the Stock Car Brazil, the TCRs South America, WEC, and the F3000. Current track length 4.309 kilometers, 2.677 miles, and we're racing around the 5th variant of this track. Believe it or not, there's been 5 variants of this circuit. Some of them going out as far as 7.8 kilometers. Absolutely massive, but we're here on the 4.3 kilometer circuit this evening. So there we go, guys. That's a bit about the track that we're going to be racing on tonight. So here we are back now. We're coming into the end of practice. There was a little bit of confusion getting everything ready to go. But overall, we're back with 5 minutes remaining. Now let's have a look at the overall championship standings after round 1. So we've got Hugh Simpkins in first place on 51 points. Robert Williams in second on 45. Graham Brown in third on 40. Vigard Helland in fourth on 37. Gary Truby in fifth on 35. Ola Stensrad in sixth on 33. Paolo Brem in seventh on 31. Sandra Capella in eighth on 29. Guy Robertson in ninth on 27. Damien G in 10th on 26. Jorge Martinez in 11th on 21, and then Earl Lateral on 19 points currently. That is your overall standings. Now, in the teams category, we've got Team GB leading the way on 40 points. Team Slow-Mo Blue on 37. Slow-Mo Purple on 30. Essential Racing on 29. And BSR on 25. As you can see, the other teams, Two Brothers Racing, Platinum Racing Team, HRT, MJX Racing, and Tiger Racing have not scored points yet. So welcome in if you are here this evening. Colin Wynn, welcome. Ivan Bramer, Dan Peoples, Joachim Kjod, Lucas Fiera as well. The intro music is really nice. Thank you very much. Marnik Haystel, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, it's going to be an absolutely incredible evening. So the format, we're going to be going into the format here tonight within this World Cup Series. Don't forget, we've got the AMS currently at the moment. Then we're going to be going into the pros. And then later on, we're going to be going off to the Americas. Now, if you missed the American broadcast last week, you should definitely go and watch it back. It was absolutely incredible. And yeah, it was really good. It takes place about 1:30 in the morning, so be aware. But we've just done the first 30 minutes practice. It is normally 60, but due to some issues we had with the sessions not starting, we've done a 30-minute practice and we're going into a 10-minute lone qualifier and then a 30-minute race. So they're going to be on a fixed setup. Standing start, you're going to have 1 fast repair, and the fuel level will be set from the fixed. Okay, so the incident limit will be a penalty every 15 minutes, every 15x, so they will get a drive-through. So there we go. Make sure you are aware that it is a 15x limit, and you will get a drive-through. Now, there is overall points. There's also points as well for the points for clean driving here tonight, pole position and fastest lap. Now the schedule itself, we head off to Le Mans next week, then we go to Watkins Glen on the 14th. On the 28th we go to Fuji International Speedway. November the 4th is Road America. November the 11th is Autodromo Nacional Monza, and then we finish out the first part of the season November the 18th in the Canadian Tire Motorsport. So there we go. Most important question of the evening: how are you, James? I'm very well, thank you very much. Not been too bad, a lot better than I was a few days ago. Got to be honest, had some horrible sort of flu buggy kind of thing that I couldn't quite get rid of, but it's slowly clearing. Still got a little bit of a nasty cough, so if I do mute all of a sudden, it's because I've kind of had a coughing fit, which is never good, but I don't want you guys to hear that, so I will mute anyway. But there you go, absolutely going to be an incredible race. So what sort of times are we looking at? Well, Top times at the minute are 1:28.71s from Colin Wynn, Paul LeMay on a 1:28.75, Hugh Simpkins on a 1:28.81. So if you're in the 1:28s or early 1:29s, and I'm going to say early 1:29s because you don't want to be later on in the 29s, like Stefan Mellis, because he's down the order in 13th place. So yeah, you want to be in the early 1:29s to be up in 6th roundabout Rollo time. And then if you do a 1:28.96 like Glenn Christensen, you will be in the top 5. Now, a little funny story about Glenn. I met Glenn twice the other day on the track, and I like to give myself a big up. I beat him twice as well, so props to me. Go on, James. You know what I mean? I actually beat all drive. So I've applied now to be in Team Slow-Mo. Ola Bratton is just processing my application. Will it work? Who knows? But there we go. So currently we're there. Who is down in 10th place? And why is that showing up as C? Bear with. I'm just going to correct some things here on the timing tower. I'm not quite sure why that is just showing up as C, but I will correct that now because at the end of the day we want it up there properly. There we go. It's Martinez. So I'm just going to save. So you might hear a beep. I do apologise, but I didn't realise that was going to pop up as C because of such short notice. And as I say, as Dan says there as well, like, subscribe and turn the bells on. So there we go. What was Damien's takeaway tonight? He hasn't told me actually, but yesterday in one of the other leagues that I do with him, he had a proper northern dinner. He had beef stew and dumplings. So currently at the moment, I don't know what he's on for this evening. Maybe I'll drop him. Let me drop him a quick message and just see what was up for dinner. Because I do find it quite funny that the highlight of my evening is talking about Damien G's dinner. So but I'm sure he'll happily tell me whether or not he had a takeout or not. But yeah, he had proper northern dinner last night. He had beef stew and dumplings. Bless him. So there you go. But overall, it's one of those things, ongoing kind of thing with Damien G. But I'm going to find it quite interesting this evening because I don't know if anybody knows, but I love this circuit, right? I am a proper Interlagos nut. Okay, I think Interlagos is an absolutely incredible circuit. I think it's going to go down exceedingly well with these drivers, and they do have to be careful with the off tracks because the off tracks are going to play a big part tonight, and they've got to be careful because if they're not, they're going to end up having a high off track count. Now that doesn't sound so bad when you look at it from my point of view, but I think for them it is because it's such an easy circuit to get an off-track on, especially around the exit of 1 down to into 3 down into Interlagos, that they're going to, they're going to really kind of struggle. So they're going to have to make sure they're a little bit careful on the off-tracks because them 15 off-tracks will come quite easily if you've had car contact as well. So yeah, they've got to be careful. Right, so we go into qualifying this evening. And we'll stay on board with you, Simpkins. Your victor from last week was used. He had that battle with Rob Williams where he manages to take the lead on the last lap. Now, there was a few people that weren't happy, right? And the reason for that is Rob gave up the position quite easily. Now, when I spoke to him after, 4 to go, we are on 96. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Already for a channel that's not very old. Now, when I spoke to Rob after, he did say he was a little bit upset about the fact that he didn't defend harder going into the hairpin at Okayama, and he has said to himself that he will go out and defend harder this time around. So hopefully Rob Williams will be there defending like an absolute trooper if he gets up near the front. Now Rob's been setting some fast times this week, been doing again around about 1:28s, so he's been absolutely flying. But I think at the end of the day he's now got to really show us his pace and go from there. So let's see what happens. 7:57 on the clock. The drivers are coming around to start their fly-in laps here as well. So there we go. Keep an eye on that one as well. I'd like to give a big shout out to simracingcommunity.com, who provided that epic flyby of the Sao Paulo circuit for us as well. And also tonight is sponsored by iLounge Racing from Paul Clark. And also as well, if you haven't checked them out, go over to iloungeracing.co.uk and look at all the sims that have been taking place as well. Now, I do have a little bit of an information regarding iLounge Racing. Me and Paul have been having a little bit of a confab about it because obviously, you know, they are one of the title sponsors this evening as well. So it was mentioned at some point that one of the main things we're trying to achieve at iLounge is to take the hassle out of sim buying for people who don't have much time or experience with sim racing but would love a sim. So go to them, try a few options. We can then discuss and spec the sim to the client's requirements. Then we deliver and install and run them through everything and offer an ongoing service. So nice and simple ways to get on track. So there we go, that's iLounge Racing. Head over to iloungeracing.co.uk and you can get involved and have a look at all the sims they got available. They do have sims. I think the cheapest sim is a Pro Sim, which is $696, I think, and you can get a sim as well. I'd like to point out up to £100,000. So yeah, there we go. The guys at iLounge Racing with sims of £100,000. You do sit in half a Formula 1 car. So that's absolutely incredible. Well, Colin Wynn's off to an absolute barnstorming flyer. He's just done a 129.328. Hugh Simpkins there, not far behind him as well on a 129.40. So some good times going on the board so far. They're into the low 129s already. And if they manage to get that out their first lap, it's even more impressive because of the fact that obviously it's such a difficult circuit on the opening lap of this race as well. So they do have to be very, very careful. So Rob Williams is improving on his second lap, currently on a 129.857 is Rob. So he's purple in sector 3, the fastest man overall. So let's jump on board with Rob and see how he finishes off the rest of this lap with a purple sector 3. Can he just get round? The last sector is going to be hard on the brakes. Down into second gear, he gets the car lined up, on the gas he goes. He's in another green here as well for Rob, so he's absolutely flying at the moment. What is he going to do across the last sector? 5:27 on the clock. This is his second lap. Here we go. He's got to stay to the left a little bit. He comes out in the middle. Oh, he goes, there you go, 129.071. Williams goes top of the timing tower with an absolute barnstorming lap on a 129.07. Oh, Marin Grigic has just picked him there as well on a 128.82. So some fast lap times here from the so-called AMs in the Discord. Sandra Cabela doing a 129.2, going in third. Glenn Andre Christian in fourth. David Rolliston in fifth. Colin Wynn sixth. Paul LeMay seventh. Simpkins eighth. Brown ninth. And Damien G from BSR in 10th place. So there we go. So these guys are putting in some absolute barnstorming lap times this evening, and I think it's going to be even more impressive as well as these times go on. But Marin Grigic in first, Williams in second, Capella third, Christensen in fourth. David Walters, good luck. Oh, good luck, young sir, to you as well. We will see David in the pro race after this as well. So if you haven't seen it, there will be another broadcast for the pros that you can get yourselves and as well. So please go and have a look at the pros as well. I will post the link ready for you all to jump in and go straight over, because that would be absolutely credible. If you can, guys, go and support the pros as well, and yeah, get yourselves involved, because the pros need as much love as the AMs do. Both are great, massive, great bunch of people. So Grigic still on a 128.824 there as well. LeMay is absolutely flying. Paul LeMay's just gone and popped it on pole. He's only done a pole on a 128.6. Sandro Capella is popping in 2 purple sectors as well. So what can Sandro do as he comes across the line? Has he improved? He's done a 129.07. No improvements. David Rolliston is green across the board as well. He's just gone across the line on a 128.989, his fastest time. Williams down on in fifth now from the man that went pole. Paul LeMay in first, Grigic second, Simpkins third, Rolliston fourth, Williams fifth, Capella in sixth, and Glenn Andre Christensen is in the pits. So there you go. Glenn there taking to the pits as well. Colin Wynn all the way down in 9th place now. So that's unbelievable. He's just dropped all the way down into 9th. So there you go. All right, 2:42 on the clock. So much love if you are here. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We've got some great action going at the moment, and Jorge Martinez is currently green across the board. You can see it at the bottom there. He's second across there, number 12. Green across the board. What is he going to be able to do here in conjunction of what his overall time is, and can he get further up the order? Now, there was an unlucky for Martinez last week as well. Gutted for the young sir. He blue screened right before the start last week. Hopefully he won't have that issue again, but he's only down in 11th place. There is some fast times on the board. 2 minutes remaining, and current leader is Paul Lemay. So currently Paul Lemay leading the way. Go Martinez, says Jorge Ochoa. Much love to you. Thank you so much for joining us as well. Guy Robinson putting in 2 greens and then 2 yellows. He's currently sat down in 13th place on a 1:32.57. Stefan Mellis on a 1:30.451. I believe we've probably got some of the pros in here in this session. Kettle Larsen and Ivan Bramer. I think you've joined the wrong session. Just a little hint. So there you go. If Kettle Larsen and Ivan Bramer are in chat at all, I think you are in the wrong session, my young gentleman. So there we go, 1 minute on the clock, and everybody is done. Colin Wynn is just driving around currently. He's purple in sector 3. Stefan Mellis is green across the board as well. He's going to be looking at coming across the line very, very shortly. Hugs the inside. Now, believe it or not, that last corner is actually split up into 3 parts. Mellis goes up into 12th there. For some reason, Kettle Larsen is out on the pits. He's out in qualifying. So please, can somebody get hold of Kettle and tell him he's in the wrong one. We will need to remove him from the session at some point. Joachim Coach, hey, mate. Don't even ask. He's your countryman, buddy. Go and sort him out. So there you go. 12 seconds on the clock. Right, coming to the end of qualifying now, and we will be able to bring up the grid for you. Paul Lemay in first, Maren Grigic in second, Hugh Simpkins in third, Colin Wynn fourth, David Rolliston fifth, Robert Williams in sixth, Sandra Cabello in seventh, Glenn Andre Christensen in eighth, Damien G in ninth, Graham Brown 10th, Jorge Martinez in 11th, Stefan Mellis in 12th, Miles Owens 13th, and Guy Robinson down in 14th place. Now that's as low as we're going to go because some of the drivers have joined the session and they shouldn't be in the session. So let's just ignore the fact that they're there. So there you go. Not my teammate, no. Kettle Larsen and Ivan Bramer. Gotta love it. But yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll get it right. I'm sure they'll get it right. So there you go. Right. Right, we're just coming on to the grid now. Lights are on. And we are live here from round 2 at Interlagos with Paul Lemay taking the whole shot currently at the moment. He's down in first place. Maren Grigic in second. Then we're going to have Colin Wynn is bullied his way through to third from Hugh Simpkins. Absolutely barnstorming start from Colin, who's currently up 2 positions on his grid slot. And we're absolutely flying. Paul Lemay is gone already. He's checking out. He's on to the next circuit. And he is done. Colin Wynn in the second place car currently for there on the left-hand side as they go round through Interlagos and on the run up into Ferradura. Can Colin hold it? Colin cuts across there of Maren Grigic's nose and is currently in second place. There's a spinner. There's a spinner issue. Simpkins has gone down the order. Didn't manage to collect anybody in the background. I think there's just a lockup going up into the Ferradura turn. And if I'm not mistaken, he's going to come now. Was it assisted by Rob Williams or did he do it on his own? Rob comes to the left, tries to get, Rob Williams was involved there with Hugh Simpkins. And unfortunately for Rob there, that was dropped used all the way down to the back of the field. But Paul Lemay out in front by 1.9 seconds. Jorge Martinez is in the middle of the pack in 6th at the moment. He is up 5. And we're going to have a look at your gainers now. Look at that. Rolliston up 2, G up 4, Martinez 5, Brown 3, Owens up 5, and Robinson up 3 places there. So an absolutely barnstorming start from these guys as we come down now through to lap 2. 28 minutes remaining on the clock. Oh, Colin Wynn is on an excursion. Can he hold it? He can currently. But I tell you what, one of the little secret assassins that's gone along through his own business currently is Damien G. Damien G is sneaked up six places from the start. Now, I was expecting big things, says from Damien. He's been in a lot of officials and he's been doing rather well. So I gave him a challenge. I said, right, I'm expecting big things from you, young man, because obviously, you know, you've been doing the job in officials and now he is out on the track currently in 3rd place. Glenn Andre Christiansen is all the way down in 8th, battling away with Miles Owens, David Rolliston and Sandro Capella. So Glenn there from Team Slow-Mo is going to have to go about his business and try and move up as best as he can, because otherwise he's going to be there as well. But he's fighting with Miles Owens from Platinum Racing Team. No slouch himself, mind you. And he's also got David Rolliston from Tiger Team behind him. So again, he's kind of in a sandwich that he doesn't really want to be in. But Paul Lemay is checked out. Maren Grieg is checked out as well. The battle kind of starts here with Damien G and Jorge Martinez. Then Colin Wynn. Then Graham Brown. There is Colin at the back of these 3 cars. G in front, Martinez in 2nd. G and Martinez 4th and Wynn in 5th. Glenn Christensen has just made the move up the inside of Miles Owens. Oh, he's gone round at the top of the hill. Glenn Andre Christian has gone round and there's another one going off wide as well. Was that Stefan Mellis taking a very wide line? And unfortunately for Glenn Andre Christensen, this is what happened. He's coming down into turn 1. He's got Miles Owens in front. He's looked at he has taken a dive at Miles Owens. Oh, and then he got into contact with Graham Brown. And then he's just had to sit there and wait patiently. There goes Stefan Mellis as well. Stefan was having a little bit of a wide line going into turn 1 there. Not the best place there, young sir, to be going into the center S's in that very fine wide line. But G, Wynn and Martinez are now locked in this little battle with 25 minutes remaining. Can they make this work? They've got to be looking at trying to push forward, because at the moment, Maren Grigic has got a 1 point, what is it now? It's actually 2-second gap to the cars behind. And oh, Martinez and G and Wynn. Martinez, G and Wynn. Did Colin Wynn get away with it? He did again by the looks of it. Colin Wynn is a cat with 9 lives today, and he's already used 2 of them up. So he's going to have to be careful. He's got 7 left, and that might not last him till the end. But Colin Wynn has now just lost the place to Graham Brown. Martinez there and Damien G. Was this under Damien G's own steam? No, Martinez. Too hot into the brakes and straight into the side of Damien G. Oh. Unbelievable. Colin Wynne is under attack from Miles Owens behind from Platinum Racing Team. There is Miles there. Car number 2 this evening. Rob Williams made his way back through the field after being all the way down the back of the order. He's just gone past Guy Robinson and is currently holding down 9th place. So there we go. But Graham Brown here is under attack, and it's not always a nice attack. As you can see, Colin Wynne, Miles Owens right up behind him. I would say David Rolliston as well, but it looks like Rollo's just lost a little bit of time behind him, and unfortunately for now is kind of dropping it off a little bit, not by much. I'm talking half a second, and anybody that knows what that half a second looks like, it's very, very minor indeed. So these guys are going to have to really try and get moving, because they're losing time to the three up front, and they're losing time quite rapidly as well. As you can see, Rolliston there is in 6th place, Capella in 7th. So they've got to be looking at trying to make the move forward, because otherwise, if they're going to continue fighting, the front guys are just going to get away, and that will be the end of that. They're going to get away, break away, and there's going to be nowhere for anybody else to try and catch them up. So they've got to be really, really careful. David Rolliston from Tiger Team is climbing all over the back of Miles Owens at the moment. So it's going to be putting him under pressure by about half a second. Rob Williams has opened up about a 1.5 second gap over Guy Robinson, is now trying to chase down Hugh Simpkins. Hughes didn't have the best of start, but has recovered back into 8th place. So that's always good from Hughes. So he's coming back through the order after a very somewhat rocky start, I think we can call it, guys. I think he didn't have the greatest. So there we go. We got Damien G from BSR. We haven't got no Gary Truby this evening. No Gary Truby tonight, which is a bit of a shame. I thought it would have been cool to have Gary in the session as well. So a bit of a shame, but you know, it is what it is, and there you go. Can't do a lot about it. So maybe Gary's having a chill out period tonight, but David Rolliston still chasing down Miles Owens, and the front guys are still absolutely flying here tonight as we go up around the left-hander. Now, believe it or not, this left-hander is actually split into 3 corners. It's not just Junkao and the run all the way around to curve 1, which is obviously turn 1. As you go up to the first part of the left, it's actually called Cafe. And then you go around Subido de Boxes, and then you go around what is known as, translated into English as the bleachers. So yeah, so that long left is actually split into 3 turns. So there we go, some information for you that you wasn't expecting this evening from me here, giving you all the necessary gossip of what is going on. But yeah, there we go, bit of track history. And as I say, we are on the 5th variant of this circuit as well. So yeah, the 5th variant of Sao Paulo, since it's basically it started building down in 1938, and it actually went live in 1940. So it was a couple of year build for them ones. And Rollo did just get past Miles Owens, and we can take a look and see how that one happened now. Oh, on the run down into turn 1, Rolliston on the left, Owens on the right. Yeah, Rolliston hits his braking point and sails round. So there we go, that is David Rolliston. Now, the problem with Miles Owens, since Ivan Brahim has told me he's under a flow, just used it off Sandro Capella. Just used it, Sandro. Down in Junkao, Sandro used carrying far more speed than actually Sandro was. So there we go, absolutely unbelievable there. And just, unfortunately for Sandro Capella, that was done and dusted. So yeah, not good for them. Right, so Sandro Capella now is down the order, all the way down in 13th. Rob Williams now recovered up into 8th. 1.46 seconds from Just Simpkins. Glenn Andre Christensen is here, locked in a battle with Damien G and Guy Robinson. So it looks like these guys have been swapping positions, so this could be an absolutely epic freeway battle here as well from Robinson, G and Christensen. Now obviously anybody that doesn't know, you know, I beat Glenn twice in races, so you know, much love to me, thank you so much as well. So there we go, what more can we ask for? So Glenn Andre Christensen down currently in 11th place, chasing down Damien G and Guy Robinson. Now Graham Brown is currently managing to keep the gap out at 8 tenths from David Rolliston. The problem is obviously Rolliston's in that draft zone now, so he's going to be looking at pulling him in a little bit closer if he can tidy up what he's got to do on track. And I think this is going to be the important thing here. As you can see, the lap times there from these guys as well. Brown to Griegic, Brown's losing out, Brown to Rolliston. Rolliston's been quicker on lap 6 and lap 7, pulled out 8 tenths on lap 7. Cheeky, hey, got to get it in, mate. Got to get it in. Oh, did I beat you? I beat you as well, Dan. So, you know, can't really say nothing about that. But Damien G and Glenn Andre Christensen. Oh, G's gone round again. Oh, Damien G was absolutely flying in officials. He's been flying all week, and he's just gone round again and dropped down the order into 12th. So you can't really say I commentated cursing, because I only told him that I expected him to do great things. So there we go. Rob Williams back up in 8th, 4.91 seconds away from this gaggle of cars behind him, and is chasing down Hugh Simpkins 1.87. Guy Robinson has got Glenn Andre Christensen no more than about 3 tenths to sit on the left-hand side. If they're white, they're well above a second. If they're yellow, they're well above half a second. And if they're orange, they're inside the half a second mark. So that's what we're trying to keep the eye on as well. So there we go. What do you mean it's 1-all? I don't remember it being 1-all, Mr. Peoples. So here we go. Here's this Glenn Andre Christensen's move. He's gone out into the left. It looks like he's making this work. Oh, not quite. Christensen now is looking like he's got a little bit of a better exit. Down Guy Robinson in front. This could be the manoeuvre into Interlagos. He's got to be looking down the long past the straight. He's pulled out very early, mind you. Is he going to make this move down into that section now? Oh, the door's been left open, mind you. Robinson left the door open. He almost got himself burgled there from Mark Christensen, because I tell you what, if he left it any wider, it would have been done and dusted. But Robinson now still managing to hold on from Glenn Andre Christian, and I'm aware as well, Glenn did cook his tyres in the officials we were doing earlier on. So Glenn did cook his tyres in the officials. However, Graham Brown is not cooking his tyres, and the reason for that is he's got David Rolliston right up behind him and the recovering Colin Wynn, who was involved in a little bit of an off-track, i.e. running straight across turn 1 and down through the centre S's and bouncing over the ground. So well done, Colin Wynn, for your recovery. Is now currently in 5th place. Right, so Graham Brown, Rolliston's now in front. David Rolliston passed Graham Brown, and I believe this is on the run down turn 1. Rolliston just sends it. Graham Brown has nowhere to go apart from leave the door open, and that is a job done. I had the jump start race, and you finished ahead of me, and you had the race with damage, and I finished. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. All right, I'll give you that one. Graham Brown moved back past there David Rolliston, so these guys have been swapping backwards and forwards. Rollo past Brown, Brown past Rolliston, and currently Graham Brown is out in front as they go round, come round the Pinarino on their way up into Pico de Pado. I do love that corner name, is incredible. Pico de Pado, which is this right-hander before we drop down into Mugello, which is now, and then on the run down into Juncal, the last corner on the circuit before we go up round this free-part corner. Okay, so we're going to go left round Juncal, then we're going to go left round Cafe, You didn't realise that was called a cafe, did you? And then we're going to go left again, round Subido de Boxes, which is this nice little flowing section here, and then we're going to come into the bleachers. Now, there is a name for that in Portuguese, but I can't remember what the translation was, but I know the translation in English is actually called the bleachers. So there we go. Hugh Simpkins now just sent it on Miles Owens from absolutely miles away, and Hughes is on a little bit of a mission to try and get these gains of his positions back. He's made some... been involved in a bit, let's just put it that way. I think we'll just say that he's been involved with a bit at the moment, but Hughes is trying to make his way back through the order. Williams is closing on these guys as well. They've only got 1.3 up until Colin Wynn is just there, so this could turn into what could be an absolutely epic four-way. And also Rollinston and Brown are not much further up either, so if they are not going to be getting on with it, these guys behind them are going to be coming very shortly joining them, and then they're going to end up in what could be an epic 5-6 car battle, so keep an eye out for that. Paul LeMay, we haven't spoken much of him from Two Brothers Racing. He has gone and dusted down the order. There he is. There is Paul. No Michael LeMay with him, but Paul is on his own, flying the flag for Two Brothers Racing. Marin Grigic in second place there as well, doing a stellar job. 4.1 in front, 5.65 behind, currently just sailing quite happily. Graham Brown's now opened up the gap till about 6/10 on this man David Rolliston. Rollo tightens up that corner a little bit more than I would have thought he would have done, and has now got to try and slip into the slipstream from him as they come running down the straight. Hugh Simpkins is still got Miles Owens up beside him. Is Miles going to send it on him? Oh, Hughes locks up. That's going to bring Owens into play. If Owens can get a better exit, he's going to get him down Interlagos. Here we go. Miles Owens closing right up behind Hugh Simpkins. He's pulled out on the right. Can he hold this running down into Interlagos on the outside? It's not the most favoured position. Hughes is not going to give it up. They're going to go out. Oh, Owens was run wide and has now got tried to get another run on the other side, the opposite side, up into Ferradura. Hughes is squeezing Miles Owens like absolutely nobody's business here. There we go, jump on the nose cone with Miles Owens. Hugh Simpkins is defending. He's defended so hard. He's got a builder in the car, building walls behind him, I'll tell you that much, because he's trying to stop Miles Owens getting any closer, and Owens is looking quick at the moment. Oh, he's got a better exit. He's not going to get him round to Mugello, and he's definitely not going to get him down into Juncal, but I expect this move possibly being done up into turn one. Owens down in second. Simpkins runs over the exit curb on the right-hand side, and here we go. Miles Owens. Which way did he go? He's gone inside on the left. There he is. There's Hugh Simpkins, gone. Oh, Hughes is trying to come back. You can see him there, look behind us. Rob is close to it, right up behind him as well. And that is Hughes Simpkins now down the order, down in 7th place. Miles Owens now. Now this is going to be a three-way and a half here, because we've got Rob Williams, Hugh Simpkins and Miles Owens. Miles is under attack. Rob has just sent it on the inside of Hughes. Is he going to stop the car? Did he stop the car in time? Oh, he jeopardized his exit on the way out. Oh, I thought he was going to put a little bit more muscle on that and chuck everything at Hughes to the kitchen sink. I'll tell you that much. We didn't quite get it this time around, and this is going to get spicy. Right. This is one of your closest battles at the moment. Glenn Andre Christensen is still behind Guy Robinson. I'm not going to say he's stuck, because Robinson's doing an absolute stellar job as they come running up into Pico de Pato as well. Glenn's looking at the inside. Oh! Robinson chucks his nose off and turns around and says, no, you are not having it. This is the problem for Christensen, because he's now cooking up his tyres like a man on a barbecue cooking chicken. I'll tell you that much, being stuck here, because I know what Glenn's like, and he's going to be pushing like an absolute trooper. The difference is can he make it? Miles Owens has now got Hugh Simpkins again back up behind him for company. Hughes again is looking up the inside. Miles Owens leaves him the respected room. again, Owens got that run. Did Christensen get Robinson? He did, but Robinson is looking at coming back. They're swapping positions all the way around into turn one. Trying to go back up board again because here is Simpkins and Miles Owens. Simpkins looks like he's got the run done into Interlagos this time around. Let's have a look how these guys are coming out. Christensen now up front of Robinson. G, Mellis, and the recovering Sandro Capella at the back there. So Glenn looking at recovering nicely coming through the order. Simpkins is looking at now trying to pull away from the ever closing Owens. And Williams is looking at trying to keep up with all of them. So there's a little bit, this is the battles here. Christensen, Robinson, G, Mellis, Capella. It's looking at getting a little bit spicy, I think, as this goes on. The thing is, though, you can see Stian there as well, right? Push Glenn, nice Glenn, yeah. And he's pulled away now. He's managed to get him away. He's not cooked his tyres as much as I thought he might have done, but he's managed to get away a little bit, and that's always good because he now can push it on. Now, don't get me wrong, he's got an 8-second gap to Williams, and he's not going to likely to get that in 8 minutes. I've got to be honest. But Simpkins and Owens, I think these guys are both battling here, and if this isn't careful, this is not going to end well. Simpkins goes in. He's got in deep. He's got in deep. That's going to allow Owens through. Is Williams going to capitalise as well? Now, Williams is back in the draft. This is Williams' move to make. Mellis and Robinson, look at them all in turn one. Robinson is dropping down the order. And he's now got G for company. Christensen's gone past. Mellis has gone past. Is G going to get past as well? Williams and Simpkins. Simpkins has crashed. Was that under his own steam? Coming down into Interlagos. Williams has gone up the inside. He's given him loads of room. Oh. Somebody cite the blame on that one. I'm not quite sure where that would come from, apart from the fact that Williams may have been carrying a little bit too much speed into that corner and is now up into 7th place. Capella is now chasing down Robinson, and G is looking at trying to come through. Oh. Robinson there is almost being like the roadblock, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? It's like a roadblock. And while we're on Sandro Capella, let's have a quick chat about this young man briefly there. Sandro Capella, at currently age of 36 years of age, and he's been sim racing for 3 years. Favourite simulator, of course, no other than iRacing. Biggest inspirations in motorsport, Sandro turned around and told us, is Ross Brawn and Schumacher. Now, I'm pretty sure it's not Mick. It's going to be Michael as Sandro makes the move on the inside on that run down into curve one. There you go. Sandro's done and through the center S's. Okay, so we asked Sandro as well of Cam, overtake. What's your greatest achievement in racing, sim or real life? Now he's overtaken Umberto Napolini in the last corner of Suzuka in the very first FBL season. Now, if you don't remember that, it was the very first FBL of the season as well. It looks like Williams may have had a little bit of trouble here because Simpkins has gone back through. Now, did Williams let him go back through, or was there much of a fight? It looked like Williams has pulled over, and I think he's allowed him back through after maybe making contact. The trouble is for Williams is Christensen is there as well. Don't forget the gap was 8 seconds and is now down to barely 4/10. So Williams is going to have to drive for his absolute barnstorming life here because he's got the ever-closing Christensen, who's taken 3-4 sectors faster. So I'm not sure how this is going to pan out here, but I think Williams could be under the cosh. Christensen running down into turn one. There's been some accidents. Hugh Simpkins has been involved in some as well. Hugh Simpkins there been involved in one. Damien G, Sandro Capella as well. Stefan Mellis, Glenn Andre Christensen. There's Hugh Simpkins again right at the beginning. That was with Colin Wynn, I believe. So them guys coming to contact, and poor old Hughes there not doing the greatest day. Okay, he probably would have been fancying his chances a little bit further up. Graham Brown now is got David Rolliston. As you can see it on the camera there behind him, literally less than about half of 10th. Christensen has got about 3 tenths over Williams, and these guys are close with 4.5 minutes remaining. So yeah, let us know who you think is in. I would say who's going to win, but I think Paul Lemay has basically got about 4.8 seconds. Marin Grigic has got second, and Graham Brown's got third. So I think it's pretty much a shoo-in who's going to be taking the victory, I think, this evening. So yeah, just have to keep an eye on that one. But I think it's pretty much a shoo-in that Lemay is going to win, bar any major incidents. Hopefully he won't make any silly mistakes, but Paul Lemay is currently out in front. Christensen and Williams. Now for Williams to defend, I would dive to that inside line and use the wall as cover. Been there my very self as well. Williams is not. Oh, I would have taken that inside line a little bit more. Christensen's trying to run him around the outside of curve 1, and that's never going to work. If it does work, that's a fully respect racing here, but Christensen's going to get the lot better exit. Running down into Interlagos, can Williams hold him off? He's got to defend harder than what happened down last time out in Okayama. And it was Simpkins in front of him, actually, that basically took the position away, the first place in the final lap, half lap. Let's see what Christensen, what Glenn is seeing here with the attack over onto Rob Williams. You see his steering wheel there and what gear he is in. Coming up into Bico now. Oh, Williams taking it a little bit too deep there. Both out in second gear. I know Williams takes that into second gear as well. So both of them went around that last corner in second gear to get that car gripping. Here we go. Which way is he going to go? Oh, late. Woo. Oh, Williams was too much. Outbraked himself, and when it's just gone off track there, that's going to put Williams under attack from Damien G, so he's going to have to be even careful here. But I tell you what, Rollo is not sitting comfortably with Graham Brown behind him currently at the moment as well. 2:11 on the clock, and Williams has just gone off track. Just overshot his braking point. I wonder if he was more worried about where Glenn was compared to where he was positioning himself on circuit. So yeah, maybe he should have been paying more attention to hitting his braking point rather than paying attention to where Glenn Andre Christensen was. But clearly Glenn is now through, and Damien G now fancies having a go at Rob Williams as well. It looks like Williams' tyres have gone. I'm not going to lie, he's looking very slidey. There was a big puff of smoke in front of us. Can Williams hold this from G? That's going to be the question. I think as well it's going to be a tough one on 1:24 on the clock, especially as Paul Lemay has now gone. He is currently coming round the back straight. So Paul Lemay there is round the back straight and is trying to make his move. Car number 1 there. Can he do this? I do wonder. David G car 10. Oh, G's got a tighter line. I tell you that much into turn 1. Oh, Williams is wide. Here we go. This is going to leave it wide open for G now. Who's coming? They're going to be a Mellis coming, looking at coming through as well. Williams is not careful. It's going to be 3 wide going down into Interlagos. They sort of are, kind of are. Maybe not. Williams is looking like he's lost his tyres in that car from that contact, and unfortunately has gone sliding down the order and is now down in 10th place, down 4 on his grid spot. Unfortunately for Williams, is not having a good second half of this circuit. Paul Lemay there as well. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they should be did he catch that in time? There he did. Barney's go. White flag lap. White flag with 2 seconds on the clock. And we're on the white flag for Paul Lemay. This is it, his final lap of the race. And Paul Lemay currently out in front and absolutely flying. Williams now is trying to chase down G. Oh, he's had a bit of a lock up there as well. Mellis is looking at coming outside. And I think, as I said earlier, Williams' tyres are done. He's finished. He's just trying to get that car across the line. And he's been trying to stay with Stefan Mellis. There goes Glenn Christensen. There goes Damien G. Here comes Mellis and Williams. Can Williams look at going up the inside? Not this time around. Can Rolliston hold it on the run up into the Ferradura from Graham Brown? These guys are very close together as well. David Rolliston and Graham Brown. Colin Wynn is behind him, about 3.5 seconds back at the moment. Williams is now beside Mellis going into Interlagos. This is not the most easiest corner to be trying that, but can Williams get him on the run up into the Ferradura? They're going to go on to the right. Here comes Williams now. Williams is through. Mellis left the door open. Can Williams get this job done and stop, though? That's going to be the question, because he hasn't really been able to get that car stopped for the last couple of laps. And unfortunately for him, it's managing to work out at the moment. But here comes Paul Lemay, your winner this evening. Paul Lemay taking the victory, round 2 here at Interlagos. Maren Grigic in second, David Rolliston in third. Oof, Graham Brown in fourth there as well. Well done to them two. So Colin Wynn comes across the line as well in 5th place. Miles Owens in 6th. The recovering Hughes Simpkins is in 7th place. Glenn Andre Christian from Team Slow-Mo. Watch the wall there, young'un. In 8th. Damien G in 9th. Stefan Mellis. Oh! 0.002. Mellis pipped Williams. 0.002. So, yeah, that was definitely close from these guys here. And we got Paul Lemay already in the box. We're just waiting for the final results to come through, and then I will show you. And then we'll jump in and have a conversation with Paul. Can I get the results? Paul Lemay in first, Maren Grigic second, David Rolliston third, Graham Brown fourth, Colin Wynn fifth, Miles Owens sixth, Hugh Simpkins seventh, Glenn Andre Christensen is currently in 8th place, Damien G in 9th, Stefan Mellis in 10th, Robert Williams down in 11th at the end, lost his tyres, Sandra Capella down in 12th, Guy Robinson 13th, Jorge Martinez 14th, and we're going to ignore the last two of Kettle Larson and Ivan Bramer, partly because they joined the wrong session. But now, let's not worry about which session they joined, because we've got our victor, Paul Lemay, in the booth. Paul, how are you?
I'm not so bad, thank you, James. Bit sweaty and horrible, though.
Yeah,
it was tough, even though there was, I got a little gap.
Mate, you got, yeah, it was a good old gap, wasn't it? 4.6 seconds in the end, you know. It's a Sunday drive, isn't it?
No, never is.
Oh,
never
mate,
is.
Don't do that. You were supposed to just turn around and say, yes, James, it was nice and easy. I'd have been like,
yes,
oh,
James, it was fine. It was a piece of cake, mate.
Piece of cake, wasn't it? What you got out in front, bud? You know, you seem to have it pretty much wrapped up. They were fighting all the way through. There was a couple of incidents behind. Hugh Simpkins, Colin Wynn coming into contact as well. So
really?
yeah, there was a good few battles that didn't always go the way that both of them survived, if you get what I mean.
Yep.
But something to look back on and have a good old watch. But we go on to Le Mans next week, mate. How do you think?
Just keep my head down, keep practicing, and see if I can get a good result.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Fingers crossed.
Mate, I've got faith. You know what I mean? Full confidence, faith in you, Paul.
Okay.
At the end of the day, so you can go out and smash it, aren't you? That's the philosophy.
We'll see.
Paul, you need, give yourself some confidence there, big man. Come on.
Okay.
All right, mate. Well, you take care. Congratulations on your victory this evening, and have a good one.
Appreciate it.
See you later.
Cheers.
Right, so we've got David Rolliston in chat. Has just joined me in the booth. David Rolliston, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you very much, James. Enjoyable race out. That was a good battle round Brazil. So very pleased with the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. Hung on from Graham Brown, because Graham wasn't giving up, was he?
No, I think after I overtook him and then he overtook me back, I was looking and thinking, Collins suddenly closed 1.5 seconds and we're losing pace with the guys in front. And I just said, you know what, Graham, lead us away. And I thought, be patient and pick him off near the end. So when the 2 minutes to go signal came, I thought, I've got to try and find a way past.
Absolutely. Colin Wynn has been in YouTube, says, mega sorry, Rollo.
No, he's fine. It's fine. I mean, we were lucky. There was an instant ahead of us that allowed us to get up there. I think we were third and fourth, and it was first lap. I was thinking the braking distances aren't wheedled in yet, and if he sends it, we could both be in trouble. But I think at the end of the day, we got away with it with how the race finished. So no harm done.
No, I think the thing as well, and don't forget, Colin did have his own little excursion across the grass. You know what I mean? He was saving the groundsman at Interlagos, cutting the grass. Colin went off and did it for them through the centre S's. So you know, he's not completely innocent this evening.
I think I followed him, didn't I? But,
yeah, you were trying to. I think that tunnel vision kicked in, didn't it? You know what I mean? We go on to Le Mans next week.
Next Friday, yes, I should be there, hopefully. Bit more practice required, but yeah, should be interesting to see what the iRacing setup is. Hopefully it'll be proper low downforce, tall gear set, and some fast racing.
Yeah, hopefully it will be there as well. But David, well done on your podium, young sir, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you very much. Cheers, James. Take care.
Bye. Right, so we've got Marin Grigic, the third and final podium man. Marin, who finished in second place this evening. How are you, young sir?
Thank you. How are you guys?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, it was a really, really good race. And Paul don't make any mistake, and he was a little bit faster than me, and it wasn't possible to overtake anyway the track.
No, you were both doing pretty much conventional same and round about the 1:29 lap times anyway. So it would have been tough for you to try and close up. Look, though, in general, happy with your second place?
Yeah, of course. It's my first race in this season, and I think it's going to be fun this year.
Yeah, absolutely, it will be, mate. We're going on to Le Mans next week. Now, you know, David Rollison's just mentioned the setup. Hope it's likeable, should we say? What's your thoughts on Le Mans?
Don't like this track so much, but I will take a little bit time to practice, and then we will see what happens.
Okay, mate. Well done. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on your second place.
Thank you very much. See you, or maybe hear you next time.
Maybe, yeah. Jump into the pros. Come and have a listen. I'll see you later.
Bye. See you.
Right, guys. There you go. That rounds out tonight's AMS Racing. And here this evening, and as always, I've been James Parfitt. I've been your host and commentator all the way through this event. So, guys, all that's left for me to say now is, because we're heading directly on to the pro race from another broadcast, which you can see live on the JPB YouTube channel, is you all take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.